This morning, we continue to see scenes of celebrations and scenes of protests across the country following the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. The ruling bitterly dividing the country as authority over abortion laws now goes back to the states. And that includes Florida, where in just hours, several groups will be in court fighting to keep one new state law from taking effect in just days. Mark Lehman is following the latest live for us this morning. And Mark, this new bill doesn't ban abortion like some other states, but it does put some strict new restrictions in place.
Yes, and the biggest is a ban on abortions after 15 weeks of pregnancy instead of 24 weeks. Now, Planned Parenthood is one of the groups saying the legislation goes too far, arguing that a judge should find it unconstitutional. Today, a fight will be happening in Tallahassee as pro-choice advocates are trying to stop a new abortion law from going into effect on Friday, something the governor signed into law after a rally with GOP lawmakers in April.
We have a duty to protect life. Abortion kills children and forever changes the life of mothers, the father, and the entire extended family.
The new law calls for a ban on most abortions after 15 weeks, which is 9 weeks earlier than the current cutoff. There is an exception if the mother's life is in danger, but no exceptions for rape or incest.
We fought against this bill, and I'm really disappointed to say that not only is this an abortion ban, but it has no exceptions for rape, incest, or human trafficking.
The new law coming to the forefront after the U.S. Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade on Friday, the decision putting abortion access back in the hands of each state. During an event over the weekend, Republican lawmakers said there have been discussions about what to do next, but a special session is unlikely.
We may need to revisit that as well as we go forward, knowing now what the Supreme Court's decision on Roe v. Wade is.
It's important to note that the majority of abortions in Florida occurred during the first trimester. According to state data, only about 16% last year occurred during the second trimester. Now, that hearing challenging the new law is set to get underway later this morning. We'll keep you updated with the developments out of Tallahassee. For now, reporting live in Kissimmee, Mark Lehman, Getting Results, News 6.
Thank you, Mark. And it's not just Florida now debating its abortion laws following the decision. Another 12 states are expected to further restrict abortion access. That's in addition to the states you see in red that already had so-called trigger laws in place. As reporter Naomi Ruckham shows us, as protests continue, some states are now rushing to clarify their laws.
From Los Angeles to Cleveland and Huntsville, Alabama. Americans took to the streets nationwide over the weekend following Friday's Supreme Court decision overturning Roe v. Wade after nearly half a century.
I feel like I don't have a choice to my own body.
Nobody wants to be stuck in a situation where they're stuck with a pregnancy.
In South Carolina, emotions boiled over, with protesters from both sides of the abortion debate fighting in the streets of Greenville. In Charlotte and around the U.S., abortion rights opponents celebrated the ruling.
For the last 50 years, there's really been a lot of lives lost under a false ruling by the Supreme Court.
At least 13 states have so-called trigger laws that locked new abortion restrictions into place after Roe v. Wade was overturned. Another 13 are likely to restrict access or enact bans soon.
Women are not second-class citizens, and the government is not the one that will decide about the continuation of a pregnancy. You know, there's no equivalent there for men.
What the Supreme Court said was that the Constitution does not give a woman the right to have an abortion.
In apparent defiance of Justice Department guidance issued after the Supreme Court ruling, South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem vowed to bar mail-order abortion pills, while saying women should not be punished for seeking them. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
Central Florida continues to see protests in the wake of the Roe decision. The group rallied outside Orlando City Hall on Saturday. State Representative Anna Escamani, who is also a former senior director for Planned Parenthood, is hosting another rally tonight. That'll be at 5 at the Beach of Nightclub in downtown Orlando. The group will then march to City Hall if the weather holds up. And keep it here on News 6 for continuing coverage of the Supreme Court's historic decision. You can also learn more updates if you're on the go with our website, clickorlando.com, and our free News 6 mobile app.